Hey, where are you? Are you?
Is this thing on? Are we back? We've never been more
Dude,
back.
hey, are you are you in a? I'm trying to see if those walls are padded or not. I see a piece of tape on or something on, or what is that up there?
It looks like a switch to something.
Switch it. What happens?
I hope it's not a fig. I hope it's not a figment of my imagination. It actually looks blank. I
Is
have
there?
no idea what that is. Is it a what?
Okay. I was gonna say, is there a switch on it? Because if you hit the switch, we'll see what happens. Maybe like my room will blow up or something. But hey, welcome back to the Legends Clubhouse. I'm gonna adjust this real quick. See,
Yeah, dude.
look at that. I got my Wyatt
Nice.
hoodie on.
Nice.
So anyway, welcome back to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Bobby Kaboose, as always. The padded room himself, Lawson Turner. What's going on, man? It's been a few days since we weren't able to see each other on Monday
Yeah, dude.
here in the clubhouse. I had some personal things, family things that I had to take care of, so I apologize for that. But we are back.
We are back into our normal. Excuse me, our normal, schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
it seems as if there's been a lot going on since last time we met.
yeah, there has been. Let's start off with like, how was your weekend, man? Like, what did you do? Was there anything eventful in the last 5 days or so that I missed out
Dude,
on?
it was so awesome watching the NFC Championship game with my boy, whose crib I'm at because he's a diehard Seahawks fan, and so he was just up, running back and forth, pacing with his Devin Witherspoon jersey on, and the mix of emotions from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. It was something that was just like I know how I am as a fan, and it's great seeing my one of my best friends to see how emotional and stuff that he gets. So it's like, it's just like me watching the game because I didn't have a dog in the fight. I just wanted a good game, and it was an excellent game.
I had a dog in the fight because it's anyone but Stafford, right? And
Hmm.
then the stupid lady on the radio this morning, who doesn't so the morning show for the radio sports talk radio around Detroit, they have an ex-Michigan football player who was in the NFL for a handful of years. He's probably in the league for 12 to 15 years. John Jansen, he was offensive lineman. And then they have this other guy that's just a radio guy. And then they have this woman who brings nothing to the show. She's very idiotic. Her opinions are, oh, I like the Vikings because I like purple. Those are the type of takes that she has. And she was able to update us all on Matt Stafford this morning that he was able to get home at 2:30 in the morning that night and kiss his children goodnight and brought them donuts for the morning. So thank you, morning show on the local radio show, for telling me that Matt Stafford was able to tuck his kids in at night.
Yeah,
I really don't give a shit. I hope he retires. I'm sure he won't. But yeah, everyone's calling it a Super Bowl rematch. But I mean, like, I guess it is a rematch. But of what, 5 years ago,
hmm
or something, or longer. Like, who gives a
yes,
shit,
it's
man? It's not okay.
2015, if I remember correctly.
Oh, 2015. So it's 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. So stop calling it a rematch because none of those guys are still either on the staff or on the roster. So we don't care. It's the Seahawks and the Patriots. I think it's no surprise that the Patriots got there after Bo Nix went down. But this is one Super Bowl that, like, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it. Like, I
really?
really don't care either team. I don't like the Patriots going back to like the Brady dynasty. I don't like the Seahawks going back to like shit, Matt Hasselbeck and that crew.
Hmm.
I just don't care. I'm like, man, I should just go door dashing and make money during the Super Bowl. Like, I seriously think that might be my plan because I have no interest in this game whatsoever. I'm not gonna have money on it. I have no interest.
it's really interesting to say that because like obviously if the Broncos would have won, then it would have been Seattle in a landslide. I do think this matchup is has the potential to be. I think obviously without giving like any super big long term predictions because the game is still 2 weeks away. I think that this game will be surprisingly close throughout. I mean, you have Seattle's defense plays like a college team. Everything from the energy, the scheme. Everyone's flying around. They have damn near all pros on every single level against the Patriots defense that's been one of the best in the postseason. You see what they did to the Chargers. You see what they did to the Texans. You saw what they did to a backup quarterback in Jarrett Stidham. Now it is your time to buckle up your chin strap because Seattle's offense is legit.
Yeah, and I think that the Patriots. I think so. From week one to now, the Patriots have had, I think, the easiest road to the Super Bowl in NFL history. I think they had like the second or third easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
They didn't really play any threats in the playoffs. I mean, look at the AFC Championship game; they won at 10-7 against a guy that hasn't thrown a pass since like I think Uncle Rico in 1982 or something. But if only Coach would have put me in that AFC Championship game, I would have taken us to the Super Bowl and had a bunch of money and all that type of stuff. You see those mountains over there? I can chuck a pigskin in over those mountains. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, man, I don't have any interest in this game. The first time around, I did not have any interest in this game. Like I said, it's like two teams that I could care less about.
Hmm.
There's not one that like I'm like okay, like I dislike this team more. It seems like a lot of the elections type stuff like oh who do you vote for, two of the lesser evils, or who they're both fucking idiots or whatever the fuck. Who do you vote for? That's how I feel with this. It's like I really don't give a shit. I haven't been to a Super Bowl party in a couple of years. The big ones that I used to go to, I don't, a little bit of falling out with some people. So it's
Hmm.
like I like the Super Bowl this year again. I just with no money in it, with no teams that I care about, with a ginger quarterback. I just don't care, man. Like
Yeah.
don't care. I'm actually kind of happy about it because I don't have to focus my whole day around the Super Bowl if I don't want to watch it, and I can go do other shit.
Hmm. It's it's really interesting because I don't think the strength of schedule that or the lack thereof that the Patriots have had to go through this year. I don't think it'll be a talking point unless they get shellacked. Like if they get shellacked, then it's okay. Well, you played nobody, throughout the entirety of the year, and then the one good, excellent team you go against, you get shellacked.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll see. Maybe I'll be like one of those people at the party that are just looking for the commercials.
Hmm.
Um and interesting choice of Super Bowl halftime. Interesting choice with Bad Bunny, with just everything that's going on right now in the
Nuts.
country. Interesting choice. But yeah, well, we'll see. If Drake May is crowned the next big thing, or if the Ginger Genie can pull one, out of his lamp. But
The
we'll
Ginger
see, man.
Genie, did you trade me? Did you just think of that?
No, it was actually one of our 64-bit Legends characters a couple years ago. His name was Rico, the Ginger Genie.
That's
Um, you
amazing.
know,
Is it
yeah,
trademark?
he didn't do no, he didn't do too well, and he wasn't a crowd favorite. It was kind of a jobber.
Oh, that's
But
no
yeah, man.
good. It's,
So
I mean, it all essentially comes down to one game, and the fact that it's Seattle, who I don't think if you would have closed your eyes and picture week one, it seems like this year's flown by just like that. It seems like
yeah,
yesterday we were seeing Jalen Carter spit on Dak, and now
right.
fast forward all these months in advance. the last two quarterbacks, I don't think anybody would have thought were Drake May and Sam Darnold.
I mean, the NFL predicted it. If you see that picture at the beginning of the year that they put out, did you hear about that?
No.
They put a picture out with the stadium for the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
and that like pretty much every team represented by one player, and they're all marching towards the stadium. Well, the two closest people to the stadium, very in the very back, are Sam Darnold and Drake May.
Wow. So
The
for
script proves again.
for everyone that thinks
Um,
that the NFL scripted,
yeah, no, yeah, that came out a couple days ago, which was interesting. When I see it with a picture, I'll send it over to you.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah, man, we have the great Pro Bowl this week. Dude, they need to just get rid of this.
I
The
already
fact that
knew.
Sanders is in the Pro Bowl. I'm sure players get a bonus or something. It's probably not significant because so many people opt out of this thing. It is a complete joke. I think that they should just have Pro Bowl honors and just do away with the game, do away with everything. Do you think that people actually watch this shit? Am I gonna watch a flag football game and like some stupid competitions that like the guys don't even care about? You're having Shador Sanders in there to try to boost ratings. The guy threw more interceptions than touchdowns.
Hmm.
You know, he's got to be. What is there's 16 teams in each conference. He's got to be the 16th reserve. Like, I mean, the guy, they had backup quarterbacks do better than him. Um, and for the fact that he's representing the AFC in something like this is absolutely absurd, and it's fucking stupid.
In terms of getting your Pro Bowl honors for coaches and bonus or for contracts and bonuses, if you're named like an alternate, it doesn't count. But
Okay.
it's
Is
still
that
just
fact
funny to,
or is
huh?
that fact or is that something that you
No,
like?
that's
Is that
fact.
fact?
Yeah, so
Okay.
like if in let's say in his contract it's if he's a Pro Bowler, he gets a $500,000 bonus. If he's named an alternate or Hal Shadur's getting into the Pro Bowl, it doesn't count. Yet it's in
Okay.
the original, Pro Bowl roster, which at the end of the day, sports for a big chunk, it's bookkeeping to be real. Like it's, oh, who was better in this era? This guy or this guy? Who's better? This guy or this guy? Oh, he's got 8 Pro Bowls. This dude's got 3 Pro Bowls. Whatever the case may be. But yeah, like the fact that you had like Tyler Huntley, back up for the Ravens a couple years ago, he made a Pro Bowl, and it's like, really, dude? So now it's a Pro Bowler, and now with should when you look up Shadur on Pro Football Reference, it's going to be Shadur Sanders, 1X Pro Bowler, and it's like, dude, that's pitiful. What somebody at NFL or at Pro Football Reference and the NFL stats, whoever, they need to come together and say, okay, we're only going to keep record of the Pro Bowl starters and the initial team. That's what needs to happen because the fact that Shadur Sanders threw for 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 1,200 yards makes a Pro Bowl like it's pitiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And for real, who's paying attention to this shit? Who's watching this? Like, is it like, okay, well, there's nothing else on, I'll put the Pro Bowl on? Or do people are like, oh man, I can't wait to watch fucking, Shadur Sanders throw to, Bill Schrader, who, you probably don't know who Bill Schrader is, but he was a third string receiver for the Packers and the Lions back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm,
Like, what are we doing here? Like, these guys obviously don't want to participate. They obviously think it's stupid. Most of the fans, I think it's stupid. Like, just name your all pro teams and be done. You don't have to follow the NBA, which theirs is all fucking screwy with the fucking fourth quarter shit and first team to whatever point system,
mm-hmm.
whatever the fuck. Hockey has kind of adapted to doing like a little 3-on-3 tournament. Cool. I think people are, excited to see something like that. And then baseball is baseball, man. You're just playing a baseball game and you're getting everyone in. That's fine too. But this
Right.
Pro Bowl shit, dude that is literally like a flag football, like, oh, let's see, how cool of a guy, Joe Flacco is. When we talk to him on this, like, I don't fucking care, dude. I don't care that you
Hmm.
had a spaghetti dinner last night and you're feeling great and you can't wait to go to Cancun. I don't fucking care, dude. I don't want to watch it. The ratings are bad, which I'm guessing because I'm guessing that not many people tune into this bullshit. But to have Shador Sanders on one of these rosters is absolutely ridiculous.
Agreed. And the only like the last Pro Bowl I remember watching was 2000. I want to say it was like 16 it was like one of the first or last years that they had the legends come in as coaching and like not handpick their teams, but so like I remember I want to say it was like Chris Carter versus Michael Irving, and that game came down to the wire, and it's like okay, that was like a genuine All Star game because there were awesome plays on both sides and stuff like that. I mean, in the modern Pro Bowl, I semi enjoy like the activities and stuff like when it comes like the dodgeball hit or miss because it doesn't really matter. I like some of the relay races where you pick like a running back for a 40, three offensive linemen to push the sled, a D lineman to do like the agility stuff and push the sled. There are just certain things that I mean it takes up my attention for maybe the 30 minutes that it's on. I was like, oh, because it's just something to have on. But yeah, when it comes to watching the Pro Bowl over the past couple years, where it's essentially been, like two-hand touch that, you'd play back in the day, it's just like, well, there's kind of no point in watching it. Like, what happened to the days where Sean Taylor would just destroy the fuck out of a punter?
Yeah, 100%. I was about to bring that up. I need the back to the Sean Taylor days of destroying a fucking punter and
I
the
got a funny
greatest hit
story.
probably in NFL history. Other not even including Pro Bowls, regular
Hmm.
season, whenever one of the greatest hits of all time. But what I would do, and this is going to be a kind of a hot take and whatever, and people might like it, people may love it, people may hate it. Fuck doing anything to do with football. I mean, you could do your little skills competitions, like you said, but instead of doing the Pro Bowl, why not take these guys, group them into fours and have a scramble on a professional pro golf course? I would much rather see that and see how bad some of these guys are at golf. And I don't watch golf. I don't think it's entertaining. I like to play it, but hey, like I think
Hmm.
it would be great. Have them mic'd up. Golf is one of the most frustrating games you can play. I told one of my buddies who wanted to try to get into golf. He goes, I'm worried that I'm not going to be any good at it. I said, golf is the one sport that you could play all your life and never get better at all. And
Right.
it's because it's frustrating, but it's a good time outside. You can drink, get these guys some alcohol, get them some clubs, and get them a course. Go out there. You have captains. You can select your team and see where these guys hit. So you at least see every one of their hits, but it moves faster because it's a scramble.
Hmm. One of the interesting things that, I mean, other than just getting rid of the Pro Bowl, I don't think there's a way to fix it because I saw on Twitter the other day that Sean Merriman he tweeted a funny story how Adrian Peterson like it. I don't remember if it was the week if it was it had to be before. So before they moved the Pro Bowl to the week before the Super Bowl, and they had it after the Super Bowl. Um, he told a story that Sean Merriman and Ray Lewis were out by the pool, just drinking and hanging out, whatever, back when it was in Hawaii. And Adrian Peterson walks by and he hasn't taken a sip all week long because, he's locked in, everybody's chilling. And then Sean Merriman says, AAP, don't try, actually play for real on the Pro Bowl. We're all chilling. And the first play from scrimmage, AP gets the handoff, runs, as only AP does, hard as fuck, runs right through, the defensive line getting to, the second level, and Robert Mathis came out and, quoted that tweet and was like, yeah, he said this is 100% a true story that we told Adrian Peterson all week, don't fucking try, bro. We're just chilling. And Adrian Peterson still came out to play. So, Robert Mathis said that him and Ray Lewis actually had to buckle their chin, start and play an actual game because it's how it's supposed to be. I feel like these All Star games that you know the it's supposed to be like the definition to a T. It should be the best players in the league for their respective conferences playing an actual game to see who's better.
Yeah. And then, like,
Like
you don't have to go. You don't have to, leave it all on the field.
right.
You don't have to go 100 fucking percent or 100 miles an hour. But like,
Hmm.
make it like, give a good 80%. Like,
Right.
give a college try, right? Like, we as fans want to see the best and the best go at it. And when you water it down and make a mockery of it, that's when you're like, okay, dude, like, I'm glad you're getting your little bonus for being in the Pro Bowl. And thank you for, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Man, go fuck yourself. We want to see athletic competition. We don't want
Hmm.
to, it's insulting to the fans, man, like that actually want to see this shit. And like for the fact that the Pro Bowl has gone from, people took pride in it. And it's just like the NBA All-Star game. It's like people used to take pride in it. And at least in the fourth quarter, they used to play defense in the
Hmm.
NBA one. But now, dude, like it's just a mockery and people don't fucking care. And like, oh, like people are gonna pay to see us anyway. Like, go fuck yourself, man. Like, I'm not gonna pay to see shit. Like you guys, you want to just collect a paycheck and be, whatever for this game. Like, just don't even show up. Let's get guys like Shador in here then that like actually play the game, but make a fucking actual game. Don't do this
Hmm.
stupid, like you said, two-hand touch flag football shit. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
see that. I'd rather go see Billy in the school down the street, juke the shit out of his friends and stiff arm the fuck out of someone. At least they'll be
Hmm.
trying.
Dude, by far, the MLB is the best All Star game be,
Yeah,
because there's no way to skim down a baseball game.
right. Right. And I used to get, I used to actually like the fact that whoever won that game would get World Series home advantage. It gives meaning to the game. Yeah,
Hmm.
people will be like, oh, you got a bunch of guys in this game that's not going to make the World Series and it doesn't impact them. So, blah, blah, blah. They're fucking all stars, dude. Like, they got voted in by their peers, by whoever. They
Hmm.
had the accolades make the All-Star game. Just because freaking Paul Skeens isn't on a playoff team doesn't mean he's not going to go out there and ball out on the mound. Like, get the fuck out of here. Put some meaning behind this shit, so they actually try. The problem is with that was when they ran out of pitchers and they had to tie and they're like, what the fuck are we going to do now? But maybe manage
But
the game a little better. We're not elementary school sports. We don't need participation trophies. You don't have to include everyone in the game. They're an
hmm
all-star. They made it. Fine. They're probably happy with a couple of days off. They're probably okay if they don't get into the game.
the biggest thing for probably manage the game better. It's awesome. I was a giant fan of the swing off that they did last year, where it's tied and
Mhm.
fucking Shorby came up and smacked three straight home runs, and it was insane. It's like, dude, because once again, it's now a quintessential home run derby swing off.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right,
Right.
you get three
Next.
swings. Whoever has the most home runs, these three swings wins.
Yep, dramatics, dude. It's like we in sports we love drama, and
Mhm.
imagine it last year. Imagine if that was for the World Series home midfield advantage, like Kyle
Oh,
Schwarber going up
dude,
there. Like the whole fucking what stadium were they in for the All
I
Star
think
game? Do you remember?
they're in
Was it
Atlanta.
Philly, Atlanta? Okay,
Yeah,
so a
Truist
National
Park was
League team,
insane.
National League Park. The National League wins with Schwarber with his heroics, and like the team would have been absolute crazy, especially the fucking Dodgers. They're gonna be like, oh shit, we got home field advantage for the next 10 years because we're just awesome, and we just keep getting better. We're about to probably get Scuba when he's ready. Like, come
Right.
on,
Speaking of
we're the
baseball,
reason that the sport can get shut down.
did for real. And speaking of baseball, I'm sure you saw Aaron Judge, cover vote athlete for MLB Show 26, which I have a problem
Right.
with.
I have the same problem because I think we're going to get to the same problem.
Number one, when it first got teased and it was orange and gray, I was like, oh, it's the best pitcher in baseball, Terry Skubal. And then they came out a couple weeks later, which as of today, it was a couple days ago, they said, we're not doing a cover vote athlete. I don't know if you saw this. They came out and said, we're not doing one, which made me immediately think, okay, well, they're doing a WBC thing where it's going to be like a WBC, or like last year, how they're not doing a singular athlete. Last year, they had Skeens, Gunnar Henderson, and Ellie De La Cruz. So I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have you're going to have your one, like, you're going to pick one player from each WBC team, so you'll technically, it won't be one cover vote athlete. But the fact that you even said there's not gonna be a cover vote athlete, and then it's Aaron fucking Judge, who had um he was he exercised his playoff demons to an extent, but like, the writing was on the wall, bro. Put Scooble on the cover. No one deserved it
Right.
more.
So when they said there's not going to be a cover athlete, did they say not a new cover athlete or just a cover athlete?
I don't remember.
Okay, because yeah, I thought I saw the same thing, but now I don't know if that word "new" was in there or not. But I
I'm
saw
about
the
to try
same.
and look it up
Like,
really quick while you go.
I'm not, they're not gonna have a cover athlete, which is fine. Like, it's not like there's a Madden curse on MLB The Show, but who buys video games
Oh,
anyway now?
it does
As
say there will
far as
not be an. It does say 2 days ago there will not be a new cover athlete.
okay, so they did use the word "new," but so
But still, like, come on, guys. And I saw a lot of people say, does this mean Scooble's getting traded? Because you're not going to have a Detroit Tiger player on the cover and then immediately get shipped off.
but without having to actually like, because to me, like my PS5, I have the digital
Right.
PS5, right? So I don't need the disc. So does a cover athlete really mean anything anymore? Just give me, like, you can just show me that the text of MLB The Show, and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll know how to find it, and I'll get there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, man, it was really written on the wall for you said Scooble. I was thinking Zach McKinstry because he made the All Star team, third baseman. Let's go. For some reason the Tigers don't think we need
Have
someone
Javi
at third
Baez
base.
on there.
Yeah, because those guys were great all stars, and they can take this team back to the playoffs. Anyway, fuck, dude. At least we're in the front running of getting Lucas Giolito. As far as reports. So I'm hoping that. I know that they're not going to be able to get a deal done with Scooble. They actually had a conversation on the radio yesterday. I believe that why fans are turning on Scooble as far as Detroit fans. And it's like, to me, I don't think they're really turning on him.
Right.
But the thing is because, like, okay, he says he wants to be in Detroit. He wants to do this, but you hire an agent of Scott Boras who's known to not do extensions, who gets big offers. They know the Tigers aren't going to give him the biggest offer. So it's like kind of questionable to me. I look at this whole relationship um like you're a kid dating someone that your parents don't want you to date, and
Right.
the parents are Scott Boras and the Detroit Tigers organization, the fans and Scooble are in the relationship, and your parents are forbidding you to see this boy or girl because they think that they're gonna be a bad influence on you or whatever, and you still want to be with them, but your parents won't allow it. And instead of doing the Romeo and Juliet thing where you're sneaking around, you basically, as a fan, have to hate the person that you're in love with because you can't be with them.
I got one. Do you think that certain players can outgrow their markets?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like,
Because with, Scott Boris is, his agent, right?
yeah.
So if Scott Boras looks at this all-star, all-worldly talent that Scooble is, it's like, okay, Detroit's kind of cheap, kind of mildly cheap. You would know
Yeah.
better than
Yeah.
I. I want to get this all-worldly talent who can command $500 million out on the market, and let's
Yeah.
have a bidding war.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see because, like, if in about 8 years or however long, when Skeens comes up, because you can make an argument that Skeens has already outgrown the Pittsburgh market.
Yeah.
So I think that's on the table too, where Scott Boras is looking at it where Well, Scooble over these last 2 years, he's outgrown Detroit.
Yeah. And you know, I was gonna bring up Skeens because that's the perfect example. Like, okay, even if the Pirates muster up, you know, four or
Four,
five hundred million
yeah.
dollars, whatever it is, at the time, right? Even if they do that, they're not gonna spend money on other talent. So like as that talent, you're like, okay, do I want to be in an organization that I know isn't going to press the issue on winning? And just make a living and live here. Like if I, you know, if it's a dope city, dude, like if you're like in fucking Miami or something, or somewhere that you seem, you know, you feel is desirable for yourself and your family or whatever, that's
Mhm.
one thing, man. But if you want to win and you want to make the most money possible, dude, you know, I know when you're making between, you know, if you're making 400 million versus 500 million, I know it's, you know, splitting hairs because it's life-changing money anyway.
Mhm.
Um, it's like, okay, at that point, do you value actually winning, or do you just want to make a living and make yourself comfortable and be, you know, a franchise type, like I'm gonna stay here and make a life for myself in this city and be a hero, even though I don't win anything, and you know, it's basically like me, you know, just showcasing what I can do on a shitty team.
Yeah, like when you look at Skeens' numbers, he had a sub 2 ERA, and it's
Yeah,
like I think they won what half his starts, not even.
right.
I don't know.
Do you want to be Allen Iverson and carry your team try to carry your team to a championship, or do you want to be LeBron James and just go to their best situation? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just really tough for a pitcher per se because, like we've brought up, they play once every 5 days, and to invest that amount of capital in a singular player, I don't know, dude. It's kind of tough. I mean, unless you're the Dodgers, who you seem to generate this money out of nowhere for all these players.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it must be nice to be grandfathered into a TV deal where you can just spend a bunch of money. But yeah, man, it's crazy. So I wanted to bring up that so Michigan yesterday. Passed what, you know, I don't know if it's law, whatever, but they became the 46th state, which I was astonished when I heard this, that they were the 46th one to
Hmm.
offer NIL to high school athletes.
Yeah.
And to me, again, not knowing that 45 other states did this already, to me this is absolutely absurd. um
Yeah, you're buying
According
high
to
schooler.
Michigan, dude, according to Michigan high school, what is it, athletic association,
Hmm.
the schools cannot pay players themselves. It's like, you know, they can't use any of the schools likeness, they can't use their mascots, they can't use their uniforms, they basically can't do anything regarding the school. However, if you know, Lawson Turner's Chevy dealership wants a you know, let me see, a trying to pull an athlete out of my head, Cade Cunningham Jr. To sign autographs at your dealership, you can pay him to do that. And you can pay him to advertise, you can pay him to model, you can pay him to run camps during the summer or whatever.
Hmm.
Uh, but the thing is, man, I cannot believe that this has sloped into high school already. I mean, college just made it legal, what, a few years ago. Um, and now you can poach high school athletes who, again, this is probably only affecting the top 1% of high school athletes.
Right.
But, you know, if LeBron James, when he was in high school, he was being taped, you know, on ESPN probably when he was 14, 15
Hmm.
years old. You're going to give this dude like a bunch of money. Like, you know, when I entered the workforce, the first job I got was at McDonald's the day I turned 15. Prior to being 15 years old, there was probably one or two places around here that I could get a job at 14 years old, including like a paper boy or
Hmm.
maybe a stock boy at a local store or something. But there's a reason why, you have to be certain ages to get to certain things. Like, once I turned 16, a lot more options open, but then you still have your work, what's it called? It's like a work release. I forget
Hmm.
what the actual term is. For hours to, for your school hours and your work hours can only combine for a certain amount of
Like a
time during
work
the week.
permit.
Work permit. Thank you.
Yeah.
So essentially, these kids, and there's no cap on what they can make. They can make
Hmm.
as
Oh, I think you froze.
money.
Oh no, you're back.
You're frozen. You're frozen. Again, I'm all about making your money, man. My nephew is a phenomenal high school pitcher. I hope he can take advantage of this. But there is no fucking way that this should be a thing. Like, you are you are encouraging students to get into more social media. We've already done studies that it's not good for mental health for kids. I think it's Australia or somewhere overseas that you have to be 18 to be able to get onto social media, which I
Mm,
think is a great idea. I don't think social media should be, allowed in high schools due to bullying, due to, the internet's forever, doing to do with maturity, all
right.
this stuff. And yet you're giving the opportunity to these kids to make as much money as they can with
Hmm.
NIL to immature kids. Like, what do you think they're going to be fucking spent blowing their money on, dude?
Any and
On
everything.
that and on top of, do you think, little Jimmy over here is going to be going business to business to see if they need, a sponsor or an endorser? Or do you think little Jimmy's fucking dad and mom, who think he's their meal ticket, is going to be pushing these deals? It's a
Oh,
hundred
if
percent fucking parents.
I was gonna say, if example, if Lil Jimmy's, let's say Lil Jimmy's a 5-star quarterback, and it comes out ESPN polls, Lil Jimmy's ranked #1 in his class. You don't think that their parents' phone is going to be ringing off the woodworks? Like, oh, we want Lil Jimmy to stay in, bumfuck Arkansas.
Right.
So every single Arkansas, car dealership's going to call, say, oh, hey, Lil Timmy or Jimmy, whatever your name is, do you want to come just do a do you want to do whether it be signings or take pictures, or you want to shoot a 15-second commercial and make 150,000? Like, the phone's gonna be ringing off the woodworks.
Right. And, like me, like probably everyone else that's listening to this or everyone in America, I can't wait to get a fucking high school kid's autograph. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing with yourself, dude?
It's
Like,
kind of like when Michigan gave Bryce Underwood $25 million.
correct. And that's the example that they were using yesterday on the radio because Bryce is one of the biggest stars or shining stars out of high school, as far
Hmm.
as his potential, his recruiting, and this could have, he's the 1%,
Right.
of high school kids, and most high school kids this probably won't affect, but the fact that you can actually do this is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, man, who's standing in line to get a picture with a 14-year-old unless, you probably should be locked up somewhere.
Oh,
It's just unbelievable.
unless your last name is Manning, and even then, you better be Peyton or Eli's kid.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and it's just, dude, it's crazy. Like when I heard this, I did look into the details because I was like, dude, there's no way, like, you know, X school, Eisenhower High School, um, is paying some kid, 50 grand to fucking play there.
Right.
But it is from boosters. The schools have really nothing to do with it. There's a lot of restrictions as far as what they can't do, but it's just mind blowing, man. It is mind blowing that you can literally have a 15-year-old come and who can't drive, who can come to your dealership to, it's one thing if you're selling Girl Scout cookies or candy bars for your fucking team's
For my traveling
uniform.
baseball team unit or uniforms. Yeah, I say unit. My dumb ass. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's another thing to be like, oh, come see superstar Scotty throw a football from here to that car and get his picture taken. I want to be,
Like for
I
real.
want to, this fall, I just want to hang out. This is going to sound weird, but it'll make sense after the point. I just want to
Okay.
hang out outside of high school football games and wait for the players. And then I just want to go up to the player and, that's the part that sounds weird,
You're
a
right. I'll be
little
doing
creepy,
that.
right? But like when they exit, I'm gonna be like, Johnny, can you tell me about that third down play in the fourth quarter? And the kid's gonna respond with, talk to my agent, aka my dad. I'm gonna need $250 to answer any questions.
It's gonna be like the baby Gronk thing.
Dude, 100%, man. Or the fucking big baller brand. Like, where did that go?
Oh, it's still
LeVar
around.
Ball. Oh, is it? Because
Yeah,
I'm
it's still
sure it's doing
around.
great. Commercial. I've never seen anyone wear it. I've never seen it in a store. I'm sure it's doing great.
God, I remember when that shit was everywhere. That shit was so
I remember,
comedy.
I remember he said the slur on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, though, but
That was his mellow, but
yeah, it was Lamelo.
yeah. But yeah, man. So that's where we are in the world today.
I
Yeah.
just thought
And,
about it. Speaking of that Raw moment, LeVar Ball did have one of the craziest quotes when he was talking to the Miz. He said, "There's two people better than me, and I'm both of them." And I'm like, "Yo, that's kind of insane."
you don't
Right?
remember him saying the slur on like live TV?
Yeah, Lamelo Ball did that. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So, but no, dude, and so to go back to this high school thing,
Mm,
um, you know, it's a slippery slope, man. Because like, what's stopping someone to, poaching like a fucking elementary school kid that's fucking juking the shit out of people, or, what's stopping, the universe, like say. Give your big time school. I'll use Michigan because I'm here.
yeah.
What's stopping the University of Michigan to making a deal with any high school in the state of Michigan or anywhere else and be like, we will give you guys money or whatever to only send us your players. Don't go anywhere else. Like
Right.
it can be a piping system, and I know this is a little bit of a stretch, but shit, giving high school kids money for fucking autographs is fucking stretching it. So
Right.
what I say is not fucking crazy because I could definitely see, you have your college pipeline, now you have your high school pipeline, all to try to get into the NFL or said sport, and even though you are literally giving these kids pipe dreams because it's the 1% of 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 the
Right.
1%. When then you get my drift, right?
Right. Yeah. It's just it's a real slippery slope because at a certain point, when does it stop?
Right.
Like you look at traveling AAU basketball teams, and they're traveling at what 13, 14. What's stopping
Yeah.
college? What's stopping colleges from let's say they're in eighth grade, a year from high school. What's what's stopping a college from approaching them and offering them something semi under the table? Oh, they
Right.
wouldn't do that because there's never been any deal under the table. Yeah, okay, makes sense to me.
Or like in Michigan, we have school of choice, so you
Hmm.
can go to any high school that you want. I don't know if there's a radius or what, or if your parents are just responsible for you getting there. But like again, eighth grader, great at basketball. Like these schools are gonna try. They already try to recruit them, but like who says like, you have these boosters for college. What about some smaller boosters that are like, hey, I've never seen my high school, because especially in a state like Texas or something where high school football is huge. You're like, well, I've never seen my high school win a championship. I'll pay you to go there. And
Right.
to me, it's absolutely ridiculous because like again, where does it stop? I mean, are we going to be going to the next Boy Scout meeting to see which Tiger Cub made the best derby car and he won 3 years in a row, so I'm going to give him 10 grand to become part of my derby car underground racing thing? By the way, I
It's
don't have one of those, but now that I said
right,
it out loud, I feel like it's a good idea.
right. I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of because it's kind of like Wild Wild West, and I think that was one of the biggest reasons why Nick Saban finally was like, you know what,
Yep.
no, because it's going to get to a point to where I mean, just look at how big the check Mark Cuban just cut for Indiana.
Hmm.
You don't think if any team has this much success because Indiana's been a basketball school forever, but
Right.
the second their football program starts to take off, it's like, oh, all these millionaire and billionaire boosters. It, I bet you it wouldn't. It doesn't hurt Mark Cuban to cut another 25 to 40 million dollar check for the program.
Right. And there's so much
You keep winning,
fuckery
they're gonna
going
keep. And another thing, they keep winning. You're gonna keep cutting checks.
on. And there's so much fuckery going on. I mean, we just seen a guy who was drafted by the NBA like 4 or 5 years ago, go to the G League, and now re-enter Alabama's basketball program at
Which is
like 25
nuts.
years old. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what, as a sports society on any level, what are we doing? This, none of this makes sense. It's like you said, the wild wild west. Yet there's no Will Smith. There's no one getting slapped on stage except for us as just normal people analyzing this, and we're like, who are making these decisions? Like, is there
Nothing's
someone?
regulated. Nothing's
Right.
regulated. That's the problem. There's no regulations around any of it.
Right. And it's absolutely insane. Like I said, like I feel like, you can't join the military till you're 18. You can't do certain things. You can't buy cigarettes. You can't buy nicotine, tobacco. You can't buy porn. You can't buy alcohol until you're 21. Like, there should be limits of age restrictions on, especially this shit, dude. You're telling me that a 15 to 18-year old, 14 to 18-year-old can make uncapped money, right? And be that young and immature, and you're gonna just be like, oh yeah, here's a fucking check. And you think
Mm,
this society is gonna fucking you think it's gonna get
hang
better?
on. Let's
You already have somebody that wants to work. Go get a fucking
worst
job at Kroger.
worst case scenario. Little Timmy gets a $20,000 check. His parents set him up whatever account. Little Jimmy finds the ATM and he falls into the wrong crowd. Now little Jimmy's taking perk 30s with the boys, the high
Yep.
class, like right. It's insane.
Yeah. Dude, like,
If you're gonna do stuff like this, it has to be regulated. No cuts, no butts, no coconuts. It has to be regulated. And the fact that it's now being elevated to high school high school kids, like once again,
mhm.
who's gonna say it's not gonna be under the table for middle schoolers?
The majority of high school kids, and I'll say the majority of fucking people in general, do not have the education of finances, of being financially stable, of saving money. Like, none of that. Like, they don't teach that in schools. They don't
No,
teach
not
you how to
anymore.
savings account, or to X% of your paycheck should go, like, you're lucky if my parents never taught me that. Like, I'm at in my mid to late 30s, I'm now learning how to save money. Like, and
Right.
it's like, dude, like, you expect a teenager to do it when there's stuff that they can buy on their own now. There's people of the opposite sex that they want to take out, whether or the whoever you're attracted to or whatever. I can't even say the opposite sex anymore because of the community. But anyway, whether it's someone that you want to impress, things that you want to buy, dude,
Just because you got
these,
it.
yes, it's it's economically irresponsible to
Mhm.
do this to children.
Agreed. And it's kind of sad a little bit because at what point is it going to stop?
Yeah.
Is it going to be an instance where like the NCAA steps in and is like, okay, well, we're going to put a salary cap or a limit because I think last year Ohio State's roster was worth what $30 million, and no, that was 2 years ago, and then like this year, what do you think? Oregon or Ohio State or Texas's roster's worth. Probably
Right.
30 plus $1 million. And then I'm just gonna keep going up and up and up.
Right. And then do you have to, when it gets to something like that, do you have to adjust the NFL salaries? Do you have to, like, Brock Purdy was, like, notably, I don't know if he got his extension yet, but
Yeah.
he was notably getting like less than like 20 college players because he was Mr. Irrelevant on his rookie contract.
Yeah, he was
And
making, I think, 700 million. I said million. I think he was making. Imagine making $700 million. Like, I think he was making $700,000 a year, and it's like, well, you're leading your team to the NFC Championship game in Super Bowls, and you're making less than $1 million. And then he finally gets his big contract. But yeah, it's like
yeah,
when you're making, it's damn near one of those. Well, shit. I could have stayed in school, probably got a
yeah,
nice chunk of change, probably could have got better opportunities and re-up my draft stocks for a bigger deal, or
right.
for a better draft position, which leads to a bigger deal next year.
And on top of that, the average NFL career is 3 years. You can get,
Three.
hey, but you can get an education with staying in school. You can have a life, outside of football if football doesn't work out.
Hmm.
But if you put that mindset and you're like, okay, well, if the top college player is making this, or if they don't cap it, they should cap it. But if the top college player is making this, the NFL floor should be that.
Right.
And then for what that means is the consumer, us, and the people that the NFL don't give a fuck about, they will have to pay more for beer, pay for parking, tickets, merchandise, all that
Food.
shit just up. And thank you, NIL, because it's all because of you, because you started paying high school students that make a little bit money, but we got to pay college students more, and then we got to pay the pros even more. And who suffers? The consumer. So thank you, world of sports, for being fucking stupid.
That's amazing. I've got about 10 minutes left. Now, here's something that came up yesterday that's a fucking disgrace. The fact that Bill Belichick is not a first ballot
Hmm.
Hall of Famer pisses me off. And I was writing an article like, do sports have a Hall of Fame problem? And like when, well, excluding basketball, because basketball is the basketball Hall of Fame. So it's college and professional. If I'm an all-time great and I'm a statistical leader in whatever, and the simple fact that I can miss out on the Hall of Fame, look at Barry Bonds, look at P. Rose. Now, I understand they have different situations and stains on their careers, legacy, whatever. And I get that Bill Belichick has Spygate and Deflategate and things like that. But at a certain point, I don't give a fuck about none of that. He's got 8 total Super Bowls, 6 as a head coach. He has shut down numerous top flight offenses year in and year out. And I feel like, did the years post Brady era really affect him? Probably. Do I give a shit about it? Fuck no.
So if you do this to Belichick, you got to do it to Brady. Like, you have
Bingo.
to.
That was my immediate text, because when it's funny because one of my buddies who's a Falcons fan, he tweeted this out, and he has the biggest reason to hate both those fuckers.
Mhm.
Coming back 28-3. He said, "Bro, this genuinely just pissed me off. Like, I'm infuriated." And I was like, "Well, you got to do it to Brady now. There's
Yeah,
no cuts, no butts, no coconuts. Because if Belichick gets the credit or the blame for Spygate, Brady's gonna eat Deflategate, and I bet you everything that I love in this world, Brady will be first ballot, and then the conversation is gonna come back up. It's
yeah,
gonna be like, oh well,
and
should he have had to wait a year? Because I mean, look at To. To had to wait what, 3 years, 4 years, and he was top three in everything.
mhm. Yeah. So he had a longer career than that.
No, but
Uh,
I'm saying like the years they had to make him wait.
yeah, yeah. But so again, yeah, Brady better not be a first bad Hall of Famer, because you can't do that. It comes down to because part of Hall of Fames is integrity, right? And that's why a lot of the steroid guys don't get in. That's why this happened. For their off the field antics with or Deflategate, Spygate, shit
Whatever.
like that. Anyway, they need to eliminate that. Like, because integrity is one thing, but when 90%, and you can tell me if I'm being exaggerating, but 90% of athletes, I believe, are probably assholes. Just gonna say it. A lot of them are alpha males, or whatever. They come across as assholes. There's a reason why we say you don't want to meet your heroes because they're probably a dick. So the integrity thing, dude, you can just blow it out your ass, dude. You want to play the the police, the nice police. Go ahead, but dude, this should be all on the field stuff.
Agreed,
You
a
know,
1000%.
your personality doesn't. I mean, we have. I'm not. You can figure out who I'm talking about. A top probably 20 player all time in the NFL, who may or may have not have killed somebody in the Hall of Fame, and you
Right.
don't put Belichick in first ballot. Like, come on, dude. Like, you literally pick and choose. Just like Pete Rose, again, he gambled on some of his games that he managed. Never gambled against his team to lose. Just gambled for his team to win. And now, if you get caught gambling, it's a slap on the wrist with a couple of game suspension. You're not banned from the game. You advertise it every fucking 30 seconds, whether it's on the live broadcast or the commercials in between. So get the fuck out of here, blow it out your ass, stop being on your high, mighty horse. And baseball writers are the worst about this because they're like, oh, well, so and so doesn't, they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but they don't deserve a first ballot Hall of Fame. Like,
Even
who gives a fuck?
dude, at what point are you a Hall of Famer or are you not? There's no in
Right,
between. Like, example, whenever you think of, oh, so and so first ballot Hall of Famer, yes, does it mean a little bit more? Yeah, to the majority. To me, it doesn't matter. Either you're in or you're not, and there's no in between. Some things are black and white, and the Hall of Fame is that.
yes. Yeah, 100%. And there's, like I said, man, like you meet 9 out of 10 of these guys, and they're probably gonna be a dick. Like,
Like, Barry Bonds was mean to me, so he's not gonna get my vote. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, what?
yeah,
He only hit what 760, what 3 home runs?
something like that. I mean, he's got the record, but
Like,
asterisks. Like,
bro, what?
him and Roger Clemens had Hall of Fame careers before they did steroids.
That was my point in the article that I'm writing. That was like, look at Barry from 1986 to, because I was 3 when he started juicing and stuff like that. So obviously didn't see Barry Bonds live, but like he apparently he got cream and clear stuff from his personal trainer Greg Anderson, and that was in 2003 during the 2003 season. Before that, he still had 600 home runs and was a 5-time MVP. Like, what are we like? What?
Right.
It's just
Absolutely.
it's mind
And
boggling to me,
I don't care how big your muscles are, you still have to fucking hit a ball.
dude.
So to have more intentional walks than probably the entire MLB today in one season,
It's
like,
insane.
career is crazy. Anyway,
I think he was intentionally walked like 2,100 times, and another base on balls was like another 600. It's like, dude,
yeah,
like they will. For people that don't like that aren't sports people, that's like, oh, how good was Barry Bonds? I don't know. In extra innings, they walked him with the bases loaded, and it was the right
yeah,
decision because they won. Like,
yeah.
what?
Dude, guy would go, 1 for 1, three intentional walks with a home run, and that, like, he is probably seeing one pitch. Like, he
One good
probably sees
pitch,
one pitch in the zone, and he's
right?
able to hit him. But anyway, thank you for
Mm.
joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse here on this Wednesday. We will be back on Friday. We are usually live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, unless something comes up. Then we'll make sure we tweet something out. So go follow us on X at New Leaf News. Go check us out. Obviously, we're here live.
Oh, he's frozen while doing the outro. Well, I think I'm gonna have to step in and do the outro, or at least until he reconnects. So we appreciate you guys for joining us for this episode of the Legends Clubhouse.
Entertainment,
On
music.
there he is.
Oh,
You froze, and I was about to take
you
over.
You can take over. I don't know
Okay.
what I'll just sit back.
So we're here on the Legends Club. We're here at the Legends Clubhouse on New Leaf News' YouTube. We have 5 other amazing platforms on social media that include Instagram, YouTube, as previously mentioned, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, and Facebook. And be sure to check out all of our stuff at newleafnews.com or .network. Both take you to the same amazing and wonderful site. We have amazing daily content. We've been booming over these past months. Over this past month, so if you see anything in the news, we probably have something that also covers it. We cover everything from sports, horoscopes, politics, gaming, TV, movies, XYZ, the Oscars, the NFL honors, you name it, we got it. And be sure to check out Mr. Bobby Kaboose over there on Instagram and Twitter. Check out me at Lawson _1226 on Instagram and Twitter. And I think that kind of covers it.
All right. Until next time, we will see you Friday. I don't know what Lawson usually says at this point because I usually tune him out. But have a great Wednesday, great hump day, and we will see you Friday. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. Hey, I did.